A few days ago, Blur came to our house, played football, had a look around the house, drank tea, played some tunes, had some food, then went home. It was an astonishing day. Let me tell you all about it.
Grandma's eating dentures to eat the crust on pizza. Taken out by her daughter because she butchered butter. Kids are eating Snickers because they're so delicious. And the sticky fingers. The mother loses her finger. But all night comes 6 times a year. They come to join them to each everyone cheers. But all day comes 6 pack of beer. Then it's back to work. A-G-A-A-A. Barbecue is cooking. Sausages and chicken. And neighbours they are looking. Johnny's down at Fun Pub, drinking lots of lager. Girls and boys are on the game. All the hype is blocked aside. Bank holiday comes 6 times a year. They don't join us to each everyone cheers. Bank holiday comes 6 pack of beer. Then it's back to work. A-G-A-A-A. Bank holiday comes 6 times a year. They don't join us to which everyone cheers. Bank holiday comes to 6 pack of beer. Then it's back to work. A-G-A-A-A.
It's April the 22nd, which may have been an ordinary day in your lives, but far from ordinary day in our lives, because today on our calendar is Blur Day, and the band are coming to our house to play in the garden. And it's 8:30 in the morning. You can probably hear birdsong in the background. This is not from the sound effects library, but it's real birds, well, session birds anyway. And I've come out to walk the dogs, as we euphemistically call it, which is the first activity of the day. And already vans have started arriving, or a van has arrived. A youth jumped out and said, "I'm Blur's drum technician," and I had no reason to disbelieve him, so he's having his breakfast back in the house, and I'm going to carry on with my walk and report back to you from time to time during the day. Right, well, it's about 45 minutes later, and one of our dogs is barking on cue. Come out here to bite me. I live here, Bridget. I've lived here for some years, longer than you, as a matter of fact. And already our garden... I don't know why she's doing this. Already our garden is starting to look like a van hire lot. There's 4 or 5 vans here. One very, very smart one, which looks as though people live in it, which looks pretty darn smart. And lots of cases are being unloaded and carried down towards our kitchen, where the event is actually going to take place. None of the bands are here yet, of course. And there's loads of toast and tea being passed around. But it's all getting pretty exciting. And our friends and our children, who are going to be the audience for this event, are already, most of them, up. Our daughter's rather more excited than our sons, at least they give the impression of being so. And they and their mates are standing in the kitchen, peering anxiously out of the window, anticipating the arrival of the top pop stars, which actually won't happen for another 2 or 3 hours, but they don't believe that. They think they're going to arrive, probably by helicopter, in the next 5 minutes. Well, it's now about 10 o'clock. There's a threatening cloud overhead, but by and large it looks as though it's going to be quite a nice day. The weather forecast is good, and our lawn now disappeared completely under flight. That's a bit of an exaggeration, actually. There are a lot of flight cases stretched out over the lawn. I hope they've looked carefully where they were putting them first, because the section where most of the equipment is the area where the dogs go to the toilet, and where they'll find this out the hard way, I suppose, as the day wears on. Still no sign of the band, of course, long time before that happens, but a great number of people now just milling about and doing fine-tuning. The Radio 1 live music team have arrived, of course, nursing hangovers, which is their natural state, and a good time is guaranteed for all, I rather suspect. Right, well, it's now 10:30, and I've just had a shower, because obviously I want to look at my very loveliest too. And I'm talking to Beck and Zoe, 2 of our Floss's friends, and they've come down, obviously, to see Blur playing later on. When did you know that they were going to be playing here?
Well, I didn't find out until this morning, because my parents came into my room this morning and said, "Oh, you're not going to school today," and I didn't know what was going on, and they said they were taking me somewhere, but they didn't tell me until I was in the car.
And Beck, when did you find out that Blur were going to be playing here?
When I got here.
Well, you had no idea at all. So what did Flossie say to you on the phone when she called you?
Well, she had just told my mum to send me down here at 9:30, and I didn't know anything else until I got here.
I see. So who would you like us to get next if we get another band down here?
Supergrass?
We'll work on that. Right, it's now 5 to 11. Dog's still barking. And our Thomas and his mate Ben playing football. You a Blur fan, Ben?
I wouldn't say I was a big fan, but a lot of their songs, I bought a couple of their records, but I like their songs. Very catchy.
Very catchy. I'm sure they'll be delighted to hear that. And that's very good. I must remember that. But it wasn't Blur that you thought was going to be here, did you? When you first said that you were going to come down here for the day, who was it you thought was going to be here?
One of them was Michael Barrymore. Because Tom said, it's someone that's sort of linked to music, but because, he didn't want to give it away. And I thought, who was it going to be? And I thought someone that sort of sings and is famous. So I just said Michael Barrymore. And I guess sort of a couple of other bands, like I said Oasis, but he went, no, we wouldn't have them in the house. So I thought, fair enough.
Tom said that you thought he was a well-known footballer. Is he making this up?
Oh, I said Robbie Fowler.
Well, Robbie would be very welcome. If you're listening, Robbie, and you want to come down and do a few songs for us here in the garden, any time you like. If we have another band down here, which band would you like us to have?
Shed 7.
It's now 20 past 11 on Blur Day here on Radio 1. And the band was supposed to arrive at 11, but obviously Top Popsters never turn up on time. Why should they, after all? What can we do? OK, you're not going to play then. So I'm just checking, coming out and walking down the lane in case, when I get to the corner, I can see them on the horizon. And it's all getting pretty tense, I have to say. It's a nerve-wracking experience to have a top band actually playing in your garden. We had Jarvis out of Pulp, of course, come and play us tracks from the new LP, but that's rather different than having an entire band playing, clearly. And Polly Harvey, on a lovely sunny day last year, sat out on the road as she played in the house because there wasn't room for us all in the house. And most exciting experience. And perhaps, if this works out all right, we'll do it again and get in some of the bands that our Flossie's friends suggested we should. Well, the great moment has now arrived. There's a very smart-looking van coming up the lane towards the house and some kind of four-wheel drive vehicle behind that. I better indicate where they've got to go. I'm very nervous about this, I must say. It's an exciting moment in our lives. Hi there, pop stars, goodness me. Well. That's it, let's go in and you can hear all the new gravel that we've had put down. It's at great expense. Of course, the BBC pays for that, licence fee, that kind of thing. New gravel, so that it sounds good underneath the tyres of Blur's various vehicles. Hello there, good morning to you. What was the last gig you did then? Where did you play last?
Munich. No, Austria.
Oh, right, so a very different kettle of fish for you here.
Nicer.
Yes, well, I hope so. Yeah, I certainly hope so. Vienna? You don't even remember, do you? Just Europe. That's
just Germany. That whole
thing
is difficult.
Right, but do you want to come in and get some tea, coffee, beer, whatever it is you do?
I'll follow you.
This is PJ Harvey has played in this space. I want you to know that. It's just right here. And then I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be showing you, really. These are lots of records.
Pick a random one out.
Pick a random one out and we'll play it on the radio. Sad Angels, that's all right, isn't it? Sad Angels, you can play that. From the album Sleep No More. Special 4-track promo EP. There is probably someone, almost certainly in Japan, who would pay you, £7 or £8 for that, or its equivalent in yen. This is just where I do the occasional radio programme from here. I'd like to do more, frankly, but if I could install ISDN lines.
What, a broadcaster? Because
yeah, no.
That'd be great,
if you had ISDN lines, I'd need to never leave the house again.
Why don't you get them then?
I don't know the answer to that question, really, to be honest. But I do, because there is a defect. You see that obviously the desk is an incredibly simple desk. I mean, as basic as you can get. And there is a fault in that if you bang it hard, if you turn around, for example, and bang it with the edge of the chair, it goes off the air.
No.
So until we trace that and rectify it, it'd be a bit risky for on-air use.
Do you want silver apples?
I do, actually. Do you want to see that?
Yes, because they're very hard to find.
Oh, are they?
And
I
I knew you'd have one.
Well, it's. No, I have an incredibly.
In alphabetical order.
I'm afraid they are in a rather sad way. But up until about 2 years ago, there. But then, if you'd like to come and spend your summers finding them, the last couple of years, 5 12-inch singles are not filed at all, and things are getting a little out of order. These are. I'm looking for silver apples. Silver Convention. Chance to play a silver convention. Here you go, silver apples, 1299. People always say that you have to computerise all of this, but obviously it would take me the rest of my life to do it. And how many were there anyway?
I'm not sure.
But yes, I mean, you now find a lot of people who claim silver apples. I mean, people who weren't even born when they were doing that will now claim them as an influence. In fact, and they've just started recording again and put out quite a good single earlier in the year. Let me file those back again because otherwise they'll disappear into the absence of...
Yeah, I've got a Robert Wyatt record that's got... it's a Virgin compilation, but it's got the top DJs and all their top records, and your choice for 1971. I think there's a Genesis record in there as well.
In here?
No, in your top record.
Oh, surely not. Oh, no, come on. Oh, that is... Actually, they did do a session for the programme once, I have to say. But I didn't hate them, you know. It's like so many other things. As I always say, there are intermediate stages between love and hate, and it's somewhere in the middle. Why did you agree to do this, actually? I'm very pleased you did. I don't want to sound aggressive.
We've always wanted to, really.
Have you?
Know.
My word, that's good to see.
Peter Hamill.
Peter Hamill, Van der Graaf.
Afterwards.
Afterwards is on... it's on...
It'll be in here
Grey
somewhere.
Aerosol, Great. Is it? Grey Aerosol.
It'll be in here somewhere, yeah. Like the greatest number of records I've got by anybody is probably still Lightning Hopkins. There's something like 50 Lightning Hopkins LPs in here somewhere. Then the Fall can't be far behind. There's sort of bootlegs and things. Probably about 40 or so. Right, shall we move on? This is where I work, you see.
This room smells nice.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, does it?
It smells,
What does it smell
I
of?
don't know. Oh.
Oh, that's
Sort of not something you can...
that wouldn't be a great surprise. Unheard demo tapes. You've got parts of these at home as well, I bet, Steve, have you?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you file yours?
Like this, in polythene bags on the floor. What I do is I take them, a box of them in the car.
See them because they were always a mystical thing.
Yes, it is.
As a teenager, for me, your demos.
Boxes.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of them up on here. There's probably. Did you ever send me one?
I think we did. Yeah, a Seymour. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
It'd probably turn up one of these days, and you get a patronising letter saying, quite like the third tune, bass a little out of tune, you know, something like that. But I mean, people have got. The only person who's ever actually done that, Howard Hughes. What was he?
Jones.
Howard Jones, man. That was Round Table. I was doing Round Table. That was the other. He was the celebrity guest, and it's just sat down. He showed me one of my postcards. The kind of, you know, if the job at the bank is still available, I should take it, son. If I were you, which was slightly crushing with them. Couple of hits and then he was gone, so wasn't far short of the mark. Anything else interesting to show you? Oh no, that is something. I've got somewhere. This is somewhere in my desk. I've got. Where is it? Very, very. I've got a great early melody maker. Shouldn't be saying this, should I? I should say I've got like the first copy of Select here, but I mean that wouldn't be really
thing, though,
not the same at all. No, no, I don't know where the hell it is. But anyway, there's a great 1937 Christmas edition of the Melody Maker, which was absolutely beautiful, and that with a dance band catalogue in it. There you go.
Wow.
Actually, there you go. Xmas double number, 1931.
Blimey.
You look at it, I'll hold this. Because I was once allowed to see all the very early Melody Makers. I had to do a piece for the radio about the 50th anniversary of the Melody Maker. And the lead article in the...
It's his 30s. Yeah,
31, yeah.
31.
And the lead article in the very first Melody Maker was, is there still a place for the banjo in the modern dance orchestra?
Train effects.
Just great stuff, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Have we done enough wandering, do you think? We can stop wandering now. Thanks for wandering. It sounds as though we're getting close to the moment at which the band starts playing. And miraculously, the photographers have appeared. Steve Lamacq is taking notes. All of Flossie's friends have appeared out of the woodwork and are now paying attention. I don't think any of them have been left watching television. And an atmosphere. They're playing, it should be pointed out, outside our kitchen. And there's a kind of paved area. And the band are having to squeeze into that with a temporary tarpaulin over them should it rain. And the dog's getting a little animated here as well because they've never heard as much noise as this before. Well, everything's gone very, very quiet, so one assumes that they're about to start playing. Our phone is going, so Sheila's going to have to rush in and try and explain to somebody who's phoning up that M.O.R are playing in our garden. I don't think they're going to believe that, frankly. Boys and girls, M.O.R at Peel Acres.
better though.
You're listening to Blur, recorded by Radio 1 at my house. They're great, I'm fat. Blur at Peel Acres.
Bands and don't like quite
Tell us
a lot
which
of
ones
them.
you don't like. Let's get a bit of a controversy going here.
What?
Tell us which ones you don't like. Let's stir it up a little bit.
Supertramp.
I'm not too sure about playing with Cooler Shaker, but you know, we'd do it.
Well, there you go. There's your headline for your Steve Lamacca sitting around the table and deliberately not speaking, in my view. Yeah. Big favourites on the evening session?
Cooler Shaker, yeah. Oh, see, this is one of the things though. Cooler Shaker, I think, are one of those bands that, you know, obviously we get lots and lots of letters saying that Cooler Shaker, you know, are the bee's knees.
Yeah. Is that a good thing? I mean, people, you know, the Emerson, Lake and Palmer won the NME and Melody Maker polls 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, I think at the moment there's.
And you do own records by them.
I do own records by them, as you spotted earlier on. Unkind of you to mention it, but in those days you're getting free records. That was the most exciting thing in the world. So you kept everything. There are much worse records than Emerson, Lake and Palmer out there. Oh, yeah. Penny Whistlers. You ever heard the Penny Whistlers?
No.
Well, yeah, that's something.
Did you keep everything?
Absolutely everything.
How
of
long
course.
did you keep everything for? What,
Well, I mean,
first 3 or 4 years?
it's yeah, probably, yeah, at least that. Yeah, there's some truly grotesque stuff out there, but then you get. See, we had a fella come out and look at it, and he was going to a fella from Record Collector magazine, and Sheila and I had sorted out a bunch of records that we thought, under no circumstances are these going to be of any value to anybody. We'd put them in a couple of boxes, and he came round, he looked through these other things, he's putting stuff out, wow, and he's really impressed, because obviously a lot of them had never been played, all those early Blur LPs and stuff like that. So he was looking through...
melody.
Too much melody, too many tunes, yeah, forget that. And so he's looking through all of this stuff, and then he said, can I look at these boxes? And I said, that you really don't want to bother with it. And he said, he's going through these, well, this one's worth 4. And then he said, actually, he said, people argue about whether this one exists or not. And he said, and I never thought I would actually see one. So, well, that's my pension scheme, you see, on the wall. So. Do you want to talk about tattoos, Damon?
Well,
you had a tattoo.
Yeah, in Nuremberg.
Yeah, which didn't work.
Well, it's worked, but it's in the wrong place, so it keeps.
Oh, so it's in there.
I just show it to everyone here.
If you
so
had had folds,
you can see it's not in a good state.
it's on the stomach, just under the belt, really, isn't it? It's
Right on the belt.
Right on the
really
belt,
stupid thing. And I had a sauna at the weekend, and I came out of it and it had changed shape completely. It's sort of come back.
What's it going to be when it kind of dries out?
It's
falls
a
off.
blue. It's a blue.
If it's for me, I'm in the bath. Can you say?
It's a blue ring.
It's a Dunkin' Donut.
It's a donut, yeah.
Does it have any symbolic? I mean, it's just.
I suppose it will. I don't know really. It's just something about Germany and wanting to,
No.
well, injure myself.
Oh, I see. All right. So who would you, if you could have a band play? You don't have, not in this garden, because obviously there'd be a long way to come all the way up here just to see a band. If you could have a band, if you've got a garden, who would you have playing in your garden?
I know, it'd have to be someone with lots of stuff. Lots of, like Ken or someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, to flatten the grass down with all the.
Yeah. That's so good.
So they can cut the lawn.
Right. How about you then? Who would you have in your garden, assuming you've got a garden?
Early wire, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you take out of you would take out of your record collection? Because it's maybe a bit embarrassing. If somebody came round, if Record Collector came round to your house and were going, shh.
Oh, more than likely.
Yeah. Nothing that springs obviously to mind.
If the toast is it's a dance with embarrassment though, isn't it?
But I think there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. I mean, I always think, when I listen to programs that I did, say 5 years ago, but like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really embarrassed because you listen to them sometimes to check whether you've fallen into some particularly infelicitous kind of verbal crutch thing where you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again because you can't think of anything to say. And if you don't listen to the tapes or whatever, then you don't know that. But I think there's nothing wrong with doing embarrassing stuff. I mean, a lot of I used to play.
Here.
I used to play Melanie records on the radio. Melanie. In fact, oddly enough, Melanie, in a sense, set the. Do you remember Melanie? Any of you ever heard Melanie? Milo, what was that song she did? Nobody in the room has ever heard of Melanie. This is terrible.
You like that?
She did a song about bicycles. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I mean, the point is that she came and sat on my bed when I had jaundice because our manager thought it'd be a good idea and played songs. And it was, I mean, just her and me and this New York manager in a nasty dark blue shot silk suit, which I shall never forget. I still wake up screaming in the night. But and she just sat on the end and said, "Oh my!" And she got this sort of two voices in a sense, one very quiet and soft, and then she'd suddenly go terrifically loud and and you'd jump back when she switched into this overdrive voice. But of course, what do you do if somebody's sitting on the end of your bed and singing songs? At the end of each number, do you kind of go more? You can't.
So was she the prototype PJ Harvey?
Well, no. PJ Harvey would be a far superior artiste. Flossie, can you go to Melanie record? So just go and look in my files it's under M, astonishingly. I think you should hear Melanie before you disappear into the afternoon. She had this song about bicycles, My Little Bicycle, or no, what was it called? Anyway, unspeakable stuff. Oh, right, but I can, if you want, oh, there you go.
It's just Melanie.
Well, my Melanie.
Well, that's a very psychedelic cover.
It is, isn't it? But this one's Melanie there.
Oh, it is actually Melanie kind of psychedelically on the front, isn't it?
It's a whole row of Melanies, rather disconcertingly, yes. A surfeit of Melanie. And it's called She Sat on My Bed and Sang. Well, mattress it was, because obviously, those days you didn't have beds. You just had a mattress on it. Born to be. Does that speak to you across the generations? Yeah, that's right.
It rhymes, doesn't it?
Scams.
What should we have? Christopher Robin is saying his prayers.
No way.
Mr. Yeah. Flossie, do you want to go and be the DJ for the day? And put...
Changing guards at Buckingham Palace.
You are? OK, Christopher Robin, I think is the one. Track 3 on there. I think that's the one we all want to hear. So who would you have playing in your garden?
I'd have can I have in the city unit?
Hey?
Can I have in the city unit?
Yeah, you can have it.
Fantastic. And the Butthole Surfers.
Oh, really? Yeah. What, even like 1997 Butthole Surfers, or?
Well, kind of 1988 Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, so I'd go. Yes, that would be quite good. Just like her dad, she plays records at the wrong speed. Yeah, these things they're in the genes, It's genetic damage. It's. Flossie, 33 1/3, my angel.
Little boy kneels at the foot of the bed, droops on his little hands, little gold head. Shh, whisper, who dares? Christopher Robin saying his prayers.
I think this is a nice way to end, fading up into a melody track.
It's an eco for good children, isn't it?
Thank you, God, for lovely day.
He gets into everything, doesn't he?
What was the other I wanted to say? I said, "Bless Daddy."
On the edge of your seat,
I can't imagine someone singing this when you're in bed.
Did you not make a dramatic recovery?
Is she holding?
No, I was really, I had jaundice and I could hardly move, so I was.
Is she holding? Is she burning an ironic flame here?
No. Oh no. Irony was unknown in the late 60s.
Particularly in German.
I think that's enough, Floss. Don't you? Unless you want her version of Mr. Tambourine Man. Hands up, anybody wants to hear Melanie's. No, all right.
145. Bit of like drumming on the table.
Well, a serious moment. Thank you, all of you, very much for coming here and doing this.
Thanks for the
Unforgettable occasion for all of us. And
Thanks for
come and do it again.
We'll obviously pay for any damage.
Of course, that's right. Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.
John will be counting the glasses before you leave.
We issued plastic, did you not notice that? And plastic knives and forks. We know what you pop stars are like.